Hi there. Today's topic explains the advanced offensive security assurance engagement. A realistic assessment of cybersecurity posture involves evaluating an organization's ability to protect its information systems, data, and network from cyber threats. This assessment aims to provide an accurate and practical understanding of the organization's security capabilities and potential vulnerabilities. A realistic assessment of cybersecurity posture refers to an objective and comprehensive evaluation of an organization's overall security readiness and capabilities to defend against potential cyber threats and attacks. Through this assessments, organization need to analyze cybersecurity measures, policies, processes, and technologies to provide an accurate and practical understanding of its current state of security. The key component includes the risk analysis, the security control evaluation, incident response capability, security awareness and training, network and infrastructure security, data protections and privacy, and third party securities. Now, let's understand threat intelligence integration. Understand the current threat landscape and potential risk. What action needs to be done? Integrated threat intelligence shows to identify relevant and current threats, threat actors, tactics, techniques, and procedures that may impact the organization. Implementing threat intelligence integration is crucial for organizations to proactively defend against cyber threats, and they need to select their threat intelligence sources, assess their data relevance and the quality, and choose integration mechanism like theme systems, ADS systems, firewall, and the endpoint detection, endpoint protection solutions. Implement automated feeds and rich security events, and trust and prioritize alerts. So these are few things they need to incorporate while implementing the threat intelligence. Now let's jump onto the vulnerability assessment, which is conducting a vulnerability assessment is very crucial for identifying and mitigating security weaknesses in an organization's systems, networks, and applications. Actions: conduct regular vulnerability scan on both internal and external assets, prioritize vulnerabilities based on their severity and potential impacts. And for doing this, they need to have a dedicated team and a list of inventories the organization has, identify the critical assets. They need to select the tools and technologies and to perform scanning and testing as well, classify and prioritize vulnerabilities, verify and validate the findings, document the findings, do the risk assessment and the remediation planning, continuous monitoring, communication and reporting, and training awareness also plays a very important role in this case. Regulatory compliances, engage with external experts, and follow up assessments. Next is penetration testing. Penetration testing, also known as ethical hacking, is a crucial element in assessing and improving an organization's security posture. So they need to conduct penetration testing to assess the effectiveness of the security controls, evaluate the organization's ability to detect and respond to simulated attacks. Next is incident response readiness. Evaluate the organization's preparedness to respond to security incidents. Review and test incident response plan and procedures. Conduct tabletop exercise to simulate various incident scenarios. Implementing incident response readiness planning is essential for organizations to effectively detect, respond to, and recover from the cybersecurity incidents. Next is security awareness and training. Assess the level of cybersecurity awareness among employees. Conduct phishing simulations to test employees' susceptibility to social engineering. Provide regular cybersecurity training to reinforce best practices. Designing a comprehensive security awareness training plan is crucial for educational employees about cybersecurity risks and promoting a culture of security within the organizations. So they need to in the training program, it's very important to understand common threats, password best practices, email practices, and safe internet browsing, mobile device security, social media security, data protection security, physical security awareness, incident response or incident reporting procedures, security policy procedures, a regular update and refreshers. These are the few training materials they need to include in the trainings. So let's jump on to the next step is access controls and identity management. Implementing an access control and identity management IAM strategy is crucial for maintaining the security and integrity of an organization's resources. So they need to take actions, review user access permissions and roles, ensure proper authentication mechanisms are in place. So conduct risk assessment. They need to define access control policies, multi-factor authentication, role-based access controls, and use IAM, identity management system. They need to provide user provisioning and deprovisioning processes. They need to implement access control reviews, regular audits, monitor changes, and enforce principle of least privileges guideline. Strong encryption is another one. So these are few tasks they need to perform to implement access control and identity management. Next is network security. Implementing strong network security measures is essential for safeguarding an organization's information assets and information. So to do that, they need to conduct network security assessment and configuration reviews, implement intrusion detection and prevention systems. Next is they need to perform the endpoint security. Endpoint security is crucial for protecting individual devices such as computers, laptops, and mobile devices from cyber threats. For implementing endpoint security involves a combination of tools, policies, and practices. A few tools which normally people use: antiviruses and the anti-malware solutions, endpoint protection platform, patch and update regularly. They need to whitelist and blacklist, which is like these are the things we have included in the essential 8 as well. Implement device control, full disk encryption, network segmentation, privilege management, multi-factor authentication, web security, URL filtering, email security, and endpoint detection and response, incident response plan, reverse device management. These are a couple of tools and devices we need to implement the safe endpoint security. Next is data protection and encryption. Ensure the confidentiality and integrity of sensitive data, as data protection mechanisms are essential for safeguarding sensitive information from unauthorized access, disclosure, alteration, or destructions. They need to perform these actions, review data protection policies and encryption practices, assess the security of data storage and transmission mechanism. They can have the mechanism for encryption like strong encryption algorithm, AES for data at rest and data in transit. They can have the access control. So implementing the access control, they can use the mechanism like implementing role-based access control or enforce the principle of least privileges to limit access to the minimum necessary of task. User access control list, ACLs, they need to specify and control access permissions. They can have the data masking redaction. Data masking and redaction involve concealing specific portion of sensitive information. To apply this, they need to redact personally identifiable information, PII, in reports and documents. They can implement data loss prevention system. We call it DLP. DLP prevents unauthorized access, transmission, and disclosure of sensitive data. Backup and the disaster recovery planning. And data classification and tagging is also important. So let's jump on to the next step in the third-party risk management. Managing third-party risk is crucial for organizations to ensure the security and resilience of their operational data and resilience of their operations, data, and systems. For doing this, again, they need to do the risk assessment and due diligence. They need to conduct a vendor risk management program. They need to run it. They need to categorize the vendors. They need to have the contractual agreements. They need to review and update contracts, continuous monitoring. These are few things, security audits and assessment they need to perform to do the third-party risk management. Next is cloud security. A robust cloud security strategy is crucial for organizations leveraging cloud services to ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of their data and applications. To do this, they need to perform actions like review cloud configurations for security best practices, evaluate access control, and data encryption in the cloud. Similarly, they need to perform the same activities like identify access management, IAM, multi-factor authentication, and enforce the principle of least privilege principle to grant users for the minimum access required for their roles. Data encryption is required. Security compliances should be in place. Security automation and orchestration should be implemented. Network security, firewalls, incident response, and forensic information should be in place. Continuous monitoring, logging and auditing, cloud service provider security, and the security awareness trainings is also very essential for this. Security patching and software updates. Evaluate the organization's ability to adapt. Evaluate the organization's ability to apply security patches promptly. The actions they need to take. Review patch management processes. Assess the currency of software and systems. Now, the physical security. Evaluate physical security controls in place. To do that, they need to take actions like assess access control to sensitive physical areas, review surveillance and monitoring systems. Regularity compliance. Ensure adherence to the industry specific regulations and compliance requirements. Review and audit processes to ensure compliances. Stay informed about changes in regulatory requirements. They need to have the asset management. Maintain an inventory of all organization assets. Implement an asset management system. Regularly update the asset inventory. Next is security matrices and monitoring. Establish key performance indicators, KPIs, for security monitoring. Implement security information and event management SIEM solutions. Monitor security matrices to identify trends and anomalies. Next is governance and risk management. Evaluate the effectiveness of governance and risk management practices. They need to take actions. Review security policies, procedures, and risk management frameworks. Assess the organization's risk appetite and risk mitigation strategies. Next is business continuity and disaster recovery. Ensure that the organizations can recover from the disruptions. Next is collaboration and information sharing. Promote collaboration among security teams and information sharing. They need to establish communication channels for security teams, participate in information sharing. Next is legal and ethical consideration. Ensure that all security assessments comply with the legal and ethical standards. To do that, they need to obtain proper authorization and consent for testing, adhere to legal and regulatory requirements. The next is continuous improvements. Foster a culture of continuous improvement in cybersecurity. To do that, they need to take actions like regularly review and update security policies and procedures. Incorporate lessons learned from incident and assessment. Conclusion. A realistic assessment involves a holistic approach considering technical, human, and procedural aspects of cybersecurity. Regularly reassessing the organization's cybersecurity posture ensures that security measures evolve to address emerging threats and challenges. That's all from me now. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, consider subscribing for more learning in the future videos. Thank you so much.